So have you ever woken up in the morning, gone into your bathroom, looked into the mirror and thought, wow, that needs improvement, or wow, my hair looks horrible today? Okay? So who here has actually woken up and been like, ooh, look at that hunk, or ooh, you're a champion today. Basically, either way, however you wake up, however you see yourself, is most likely that someone else sees you completely differently. So first off, I'm Nick Carlton. I'm a sales management trainee, intern for Enterprise, and I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself real quick. So I moved back and forth between Dallas and Chicago my entire life. I was born in Plano, moved to Chicago, back to Dallas, back to Chicago, back to Dallas, back to Chicago, and then when I went to college, my mom moved back to Dallas. So I'm actually going home to here. So I actually grew up with 0 siblings. It was pretty boring, pretty lonely. I would just play my video games to kind of make up for that. But it was never a bad thing because Christmases were always great. I always had a bunch of presents. So I went to the University of Alabama for 3.5 years, Roll Tide, and it ended up getting a little too expensive down the stretch and had to transfer. So that brings me to here. Basically, in the fall, I'll be attending Texas State, and I can't wait to be a Bobcat. Now that you get to know a little more about me, maybe your perspective will change as the speech goes on from this point until the end. And I'm going to show you 4 objects that really resonate with me, and maybe will give you a better idea into my life. So the first object is this football here. Now footballs in general resonate with me because I played football from day one, from flag football with the hockey helmets back in the day to full tackle football all the way through high school. I still play flag football intramurals, but another thing is that I love the Cowboys. I've always loved them. I used to go to the games all the time, and actually, this is one of the footballs that my dad and I would toss around in the parking lot before the games while tailgating. So this brings me to my second object, which is an object that people don't really know about me right off the bat, and I definitely haven't said anything about it so far today. So this one is The Day It Snowed Ice Cream. This is a published book that I wrote in the 1st grade. Now, I'm not going around flaunting this book all the time saying, hey, nice to meet you. I'm a published author because it is in the 1st grade. So my friends and I actually tried marketing and selling this book in high school, so we kind of created our own little business, right? And I thought that was pretty cool because we got some sales from teachers, sales from students who would babysit and stuff, so we made a little enterprise out of it. I also like to tell a joke about my book once people find out that I peaked in the 1st grade, which is not true, hopefully, but yeah, so I like to lighten up the mood with my book. Now, the third object is an object that people see me as or would describe me as that I disagree with. So it is true, I'm in a fraternity. I was in a fraternity at the University of Alabama. So this is a picture of my composite here for the fraternity, and I'm also wearing a Greek tee here. So a lot of people with this object will stereotype me into being just a regular frat dude who doesn't really care, crazy, chugging beer, all this stuff. So I like to pride myself on being the opposite of one of the fraternity guys. I mean, yeah, I still have fun and everything, but at the same time, I pride myself on being like a caring and respectful person to anyone who's the same to me. So, joining a fraternity is definitely one of the best decisions I've ever made in my entire life. I got to meet a lot of great guys, make friends for life, and have plenty of networking opportunities down the road, while also not changing who I am in my image as just a human being. So for this last object, I had to call up my buddy Chris. And so for this one, someone else chooses an object that best describes you and what they would choose just, on the fly. So I asked him, and he goes, he thinks for a second, he goes, McDonald's Happy Meal. I go, what? And my first initial thought was, yeah, I'm a happy guy. I'm a pretty smiley guy, but McDonald's Happy Meal, elaborate. And he goes, okay. And he says, everyone loves a McDonald's Happy Meal. I was like, oh, thank you. And he goes, you're accessible, like McDonald's is on every corner. You're always there for us when we need you. It's like, wow, thanks. And then this is where he got me. He goes, but you're a total wild card. I'm like, what do you mean by that? He's like, you get a toy in your Happy Meal. You never know what you're going to get, but you're always satisfied because it's a toy. I go, okay, cool. I've never been more honored to be, compared to a Happy Meal ever in my entire life. So basically, you know a lot more about me. We've dived deeper into my life, and I'm sure your perspective has changed a little bit. Now, I'm just a loving guy who peaked in the first grade, loves the Cowboys, loves football, and is in a fraternity. So thank you all for spending time with me, and I'm looking forward to learning more about you as well.